What's up, everybody? We're back for a new interview with Justin Myers from
Broken Side,
and we're going to be shooting the shit with him, chatting up a little bit here momentarily. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody who's been checking out the page, everybody who checked out our interview with Bakaloo that just went up, our interview with Eugene from fucking Flesh God.
Preach.
All of our interviews, I really appreciate that. It's really cool that you guys seem to be into it. So drop some love in the comments, all that good shit. You can see the Skid Row banner really well now. So yeah. I hope I don't offend anybody by having a hair metal band in the background, but it's alright. Fuck it.
Pretty upset about it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. It's just letters, so I'm just going to say how the letters are sound.
Waved at him.
So thank you for joining. You were in the last one too, so I appreciate that. I feel like I've seen your miscellaneous letters several times, so thank you for always being here and hanging out. And thank you for everybody who watches these secondhand. I know our live count dips and ebbs and sways, but our secondary count always is pretty solid. So thank you guys very much for checking this out. We do it at weird times, so I get if you guys are busy, but metal doesn't take a break.
Sex.
That will be the catchphrase. I've just coined the new catchphrase. Metal doesn't take a break. Hell yeah. Copyright Metal Everything 2021.
Justin, oh Justin.
In the meantime, I said it in the last one, but I'll say it in this one. I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody's staying safe. Nobody's gotten run over by a car or gotten polio or anything. So I'm glad that seems to be the case.
Sorry, I'm trying to get him in here.
We're going to get Justin on very soon. We're going to be discussing he's also a fellow drummer, so we're going to be talking about, like you guessed it, guitar, and and we're going to be, talking about drums and the craft that goes into that, and the hard work and determination, his band Broken Side, all that good shit, all of that creamy goodness that you guys tune in for, all of the nougaty filling that is Metal Everything. Yeah. So we'll just kind of kill some time until he joins. How are you today, Bailey?
I'm doing okay. I'm hungover.
Yeah?
I don't feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm letting you take the lead on this one.
That's fine.
Yeah?
And there's nothing against Bakaloo. I don't feel good.
Yeah, I spoke a lot during the Bakaloo interview.
I'm hungover very bad.
That's alright. That's alright. Everybody's done it. It's fucking not even one yet, and I've already cracked, so, Sundays, baby. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Hope everybody got a chance to go see Spider-Man. It's the only thing I'll say about it in this one. But,
it won't be.
It won't be. But still. Hope everybody's checking out some cool music. For those of you who are watching, drop in the comments, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on demand, what is a kick-ass new record you guys have been listening to? It doesn't have to be a new record. Something you guys have been listening to that's new to you, maybe. I have been listening to the new Ice Nine Kills record a whole lot.
I knew it was coming.
In every interview, in every talk, I gotta bring it up. So what have you guys been listening to? Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you're excited for any tours next year. A lot of bands are starting to eke out their... he's not in yet.
No, I'm going to try to tag him up.
Tag him in it?
Yeah.
A lot of bands are starting to announce new tour dates. I know Iron Maiden is going on tour with Trivium next year. Ice Nine Kills, Motionless in White, and Black Veil are going on tour. I think there's this band that kind of sucks called Dilation that may be doing a couple of shows next year. We'll see what happens there.
Fucking poop.
Fuck them. But yeah, dude. So let us know what you guys are looking forward to next year in the metal scene. There's plenty of new announcements and shit dropping just to round out the year. That way we know what we're getting into next year, I guess. But yeah, if you guys checked out our interview with Bakaloo, you guys will know that they're hopefully going to be touring out a little bit next year. Some physical releases. It's hard to plan any of this shit out with the Rona being a thing. As I take a sip from my Corona Premier. Anyway, Corona sucks. Not the beer, but the thing. So yeah, dude. I what are your excitements for next year? Anybody who will be watching this. Regardless of what happens, I'm absolutely posting this.
There he is.
Ask to join. Yeah, request to join. I'm going to wave at you virtually and physically. and just join in. Hello, join in, and we will get you on here to talk about the drums or guitar. I mentioned it earlier. If you want to talk about fucking guitar, you want to talk about Van Halen's Jump for 2 hours? We can do that.
You just read the back of my shirt when you did that?
No, I didn't. I just like Van Halen. I don't know if I'm allowed on the Metal Everything page anymore since I like them.
Justin, request to join in here, brother. We'll get you in here and we'll chit chat and shoot shit and have fun.
We'll keep it short, sweet, metal related. No Spider-Man talk this time. Bullshit. And we won't take too much time. I enjoy, like I said, everybody who tunes into this, everybody who has done a talk with us. Really means a lot.
Yeah. If you, the first one we did was with Eugene. That was fun.
From Flesh God. That was not nerve-wracking whatsoever.
I love him to death. He's a great guy.
Second one we did was with our really fucking good friend, like big fan of the channel. He's a really solid dude, Zach Ramos, who was an absolute fucking sweetheart. He's great. And then we just did Bakaloo, which is a local East Tennessee band. We just did them like fucking 17 seconds ago. Not literally, but it feels like it. Now we're going to be talking to Justin Meyer of Broken Side.
Yeah, Justin. Come on, Justin. Justin.
What did Justin?
He texted me. He said, I don't know how this shit works.
That is the joy of live streaming, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is.
Hope he's naked.
I want to see some nips on this channel. We are NC-17 channel.
What's up,
What's up, dude?
man? So I'm trying to figure this out right now.
Good.
Fair enough, dude. We're still figuring it out ourselves.
Yeah. I tried to do it on my computer. I was trying to do it on the computer. It didn't work. So.
Very good, man. How you been, Justin?
Yeah. Right.
How you been, brother?
Oh, that's pretty good. So, you got to see this shit. So I had the computer running, and I feel like the old man right now. I'm like the grandpa. It's like, it's lagging. So I'm listening to myself talk to you guys while you're talking to me here. It's just, it's pretty nuts.
It's going to be like doing a weatherman thing where it's like, how's the news in Denver? And then there's like the rainy, you know?
Uh-oh.
And he's frozen.
No.
We have a frozen Justin on our screen.
We'll just keep you there. There we
What's
go.
new? What's new?
Oh man, everything's new. So I just, Bailey called me here. I just finished setting up my babies, and I was downstairs making some eggs. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm eating eggs, like eating eggs, coffee, just hanging out." And he's like, "You want to get on a podcast?" I was like, "Sure." And then 2 and 2 clicks together, and I'm like, "Oh, so Metal Everything is Bailey." Oh, okay, all right. So that's how you got me. I still got the coffee. I haven't yet graduated to the beer, and just kind of hanging out, man. Finished my eggs, so yeah, just hanging out. New stuff as far as Drumworthy. Just came out of the studio yesterday. Just recorded 3 songs for our Broken Side EP. Pretty fucking excited about that. And yeah, so like I said, when I got back in, I set these guys up and just kind of left them naked this morning. Put the cymbals on and start doing some stuff later. Try doing those doubles like you, Bailey.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like when you asked me, "Are you playing doubles?" I was like, "Oh God, damn it!" It's like this guy's gonna want to know how to do doubles. I'm having a horrible time with him this evening. Because like, man, I'm literally, man, like I'm not that far into like really polishing double strokes. Like I can do it and it sound good, but like most of the time they sound good in the heat of the moment live. But that night, dude, I was having a lot of trigger issue. I could not get my module set right. Like I usually have it set with my sensitivity maxed and my threshold zero. And man, it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening that night.
Well, you fooled the hell out of me. That was
Well, thank you.
that was my first live impression of doubles and a triggered kit. So, I mean, that axis pedal you've got and your settings and whatnot. And you said, "Oh no, it's easy, man. You just, you drop your heel and you tap it." And I was like, "You're fucking crazy." Like,
He's been showing me how to, and he's like, "Cause I'll sit behind the kit, and I can't. It just doesn't come out." And he's like, "Oh, it's easy. Drop your heel." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I do it, and he goes, "No, drop your heel." And I'm like, "There's only one way to drop your heel. I'm doing it wrong, I guess."
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know, man. Like, I guess I just haven't found the correct way to be like, do this, and it'll help. Now, because Eric Marotti, drummer for Substitution, he had one way, and Eugene, another drummer. I don't know if you ever heard of Flesh God Apocalypse or not, but we've interviewed him, and he's my like favorite influence ever. He's my mentor. He's my influence. He's everything. And he was like, "Well, Eric taught me how to do it this way," and I'm like, "Fuck." Because you take a chunk of a drumstick and you just tape it up under your foot, like your heel plate of your board at the back, and it kind of helps you create that range of like
that little pivot.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I appreciate you enjoying them, but I'm still fairly new in a double stroke, so it's a new world for me.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, to get the speed and honestly, man, with your kit, you had it straight, and then you suggested, you're like, well, since you have a mic, how about we put the mic on it too? So we had your triggers plus the mic all kind of balanced in, and it sounded great. I mean, and you guys were first, so when you guys played first, and then having to duplicate what I did with having that trigger on there was just amazing for the sound in that room. Trying to duplicate that for the rest of the bands that came on after you, I was like, fuck, these guys are expecting a lot right now,
Well, I mean, I appreciate you. Like, you were like, if I could take you, if Dilation could have Justin and take you everywhere we play so you could do our sound for us, that'd be awesome. Because I've played in a lot of places, but that was the nicest it sounded.
Agreed.
Anywhere we've played. Because he's a groupie. He's in the family. He's part of the band.
I say that I'm the groupie, but I help out when I can. I was actually I'm gonna give some context for those of you watching. If you check out this page, or if you check out either one of our pages, there was a show what month ago, I think, give or take, a little over.
About a month,
Brickyard, Brickyard Bar and Grill in Knoxville, and this badass gentleman did the sound for it. And I'm not just stroking your ego if you're on. I'm not just saying legitimately that was. I've seen his band 4 or 5 times. It was but that was the best it's ever sounded, hands down, without question.
Man, I appreciate it. I mean, I just make it sound the way it should, and you guys do all the work. So, that's really where it comes from. But I know what you mean. The reason I do that stuff, I like running sound. And I tell people a lot of times when we play with another band, I was like, if we're running sound, if I'm going to bring my stuff out, you're going to sound better than we will. There's no doubt in my mind, because I'm going to sit out there and make you sound the way I think you should sound. All you got to do is play your instruments the way you do, and it's going to sound correctly. I really love doing that, because I hate going to a venue and then coming off the stage and hearing somebody say, oh crap, I couldn't hear anything from the singer. I couldn't hear the kick or, anything really. And it's just nice, man. I like to be able to do that. And I appreciate you guys' feedback. Like, it was a fun night. That night was freaking awesome.
Grim Skeeter, Justin's a sound wizard.
Sound wizard. That's
that's my bass player. What's up, Skeet?
We talked about the band, kind of sparingly here and there, but tell us about your band, dude. You said you got an EP, The Works.
Oh boy. So this will be our second EP. Our first EP was 4 songs, and we put that out with our producer Dalton Skinner at Anchor Sound Recording Studios. This guy's a wizard, man. I mean, he's a young guy, but he just knows how to put together a song. and it's awesome. So we brought him some music. We had a single came out. It's called The Flaw, and Broken Side's the band. If you haven't heard yet, Broken Side. You can catch us on brokensideband.com. 2 words, Broken Side. So we brought him our idea for a single, pre-written everything. He put it out, and we took it to 106.1 VLZ in Knoxville, and like that, it was like on the radio, and we were just blown away. You know what I mean? And people were like, "Hey, this is a great song." We were like, "Hold on, we got more. All right, we're coming." So we put out the rest of the EP. That was our single, The Flaw. We've got a video on YouTube. You guys should check it out. It's pretty cool. And then during all this, we're writing, we're doing things, and we're kind of finding our sound. It's a 5-piece band. We've got 3 guitar players, bass player, and me. And our singer, the lead singer, Jesse, he plays guitar. He plays really good guitar. He's got a really melodic mind, and so he'll come up with stuff it just blows your mind. It's awesome. But he can't play it and sing it at the same time. So we have to have 3 guitar players, and when we got all that together, we finally started like finding our own sound. And people ask you, they probably ask you, "Oh, you're in a band. What kind of music do you play?" I'm like, "Well, rock." It's like, I don't know how to explain it, really. We play what we feel. And anyway, so the first EP came out, awesome feedback from people, and we were still growing our sound. And now we're working on our second EP. And this thing, we're going to be, I think we're putting 5 songs. If Skylar's still watching, I think it's 4 or 5 songs. We haven't figured it out just yet, and we're still writing 2 of them. But man, I mean, this stuff, like, we're hoping that this music's the kind of music that just kind of grabs you by the balls, and you want to listen to it, because that's how we feel about it. We're making music that we love and we want to listen to, and that's kind of the goal, right? When you write a song, you're like, this song's badass. I'm going to listen to it again because it's good. So that's kind of what we're going for. Skylar says 5. All right.
5.
Or he's just, Grim Skeeter says 5, 5, 5, 5. So I guess we've got 5,555 songs coming. Right, Skylar?
I do spot you said I gotta do it. You said there's no way to describe your guys' sound. How do you describe what influences maybe, or what is the best way?
Man. All right. So let's say like illegitimate love children of an orgy. All right. Because this is the only way to describe it. The band itself has so many different influences. We range from our bass player loving, Skylar loves like Gojira and like some of the heavier stuff. I've been a fan of Tool. I play in a Tool tribute, and like, so I love Tool. I love Seven Dust, and man, my range goes forever, to Dave Matthews, to like everything. I grew up in country, so it's that kind of weirdness, plus like our guitar players, Tremonti, another guitar player, Jesse loves Tremonti, and like he's also a Tool fan. So it's really weird, man. Like, there's just a bunch of different rock type genres and weird stuff in between that kind of mixes all together, and it comes out with Broken Side. So it's difficult.
Little anecdote, you said a couple of your guitar players are into Tremonti. I'm a huge Tremonti fan, and me and my brother went and saw them in Atlanta. And we didn't have anything for them to sign, but we're not gonna not go meet Mark Tremonti, obviously.
Yeah.
So we go up to the entire band, and they're all incredible musicians. Do not get me wrong, but Mark Tremonti has been in Creed and Alter Bridge and his own stuff. Mark Tremonti is a living. So we walk up there, and we're like, "How's it going, guys?" Yeah, and we get to Mark, and it's just deer in the headlights. Just, "Oh, you're funny." The sign, and it's off camera a little bit. We had the guitar player, the rhythm guitar player, grabbed a solo cup, and so we have a complete Tremonti sign. Both of us have a Tremonti signed solo cup, and it's one of those things, man. Like, they're such great guys, and they're such a great, incredible band. And Mark is such an influence influential guitar player that it really doesn't surprise me that you threw Mark Tremonti out there, because he is absolute fucking god.
Yep. Oh yeah, man. I never got into the Tremonti side of things. I stopped with Creed because I'm old, and so that was like. Well, I mean, I'm 39, you know, and Creed was like my first when I was 14, 13 years old, you know, 96 or so. Creed was just coming out, and that was the shit, you know. That was like between Creed, you had all those bands, Creed, Tool, freaking Nine Inch Nails was out, like all the 90s shit, and then Limp Bizkit, Korn. You know, my first band was a Korn tribute or a Korn cover band, and we played Rage Against the Machine and shit. So like all those different influences, what I grew up into, and all those guys are just awesome. You know, it's hard to, again, back to the music style, man. It's hard to pinpoint anything. Like we sound melodic, we sound heavy. There's some screaming in there. It's typically held back a little, but it's there. Johnny Crawford, that boy's got a vocal range like you wouldn't believe. He's our guitar player, and we're like, hey, we need a scream, and he's like, wah! You know, it's there. So it's fucking awesome. But I don't know, man. I mean, go for it. What's your question?
What's your at least give me top 3 drum influence? I'm gonna go on a limb and say Danny Carey, of course.
Oh yeah, Danny Carey, Morgan Rose. I've loved Sevendust since the first album. He's got such energy behind the kit, and he's such a cool guy. And then, man, Buddy Rich. You know, if you got to reach back to the roots of what people are doing, you know, double bass drums. Buddy Rich was out there, you know, one of the pioneers playing 2 bass drums. Yeah, top 3. That's probably, probably it. You know, Morgan Rose, Danny Carey, Buddy Rich.
Now, there's so many people, like all 3 of us are drummers, and it's hard, regardless of what instrument you play, whether it's guitar or whatever. It's hard if you listen to a lot of shit and you listen to a lot of different stuff. It's the hardest thing in the world to be like, because I've been asked that question before, like, what's your top 3? And there's like a good couple of minutes where it's like, and you have to like cycle through, and you always forget somebody. Like, we'll finish this up, and you'll be like, I forgot this person. Like, there's always that one, you know, there's so many influences. And I do want to ask, we're talking about influential artists and stuff, what made you pick up a pair of sticks?
Man, so that's funny. My whole family's musical, right? The Myers family, I grew up in Southwest Louisiana. So I grew up listening to my dad play drums with my grandpa, who played either lead guitar or bass guitar. Since he's 81 now, I believe, and he's just stopped playing because he's falling into dementia, really. But those were my influences. We would go to, you know, Mardi Gras. I lived in a town that would shut down for Mardi Gras for 3 days because we would close Main Street, and then there was always a bandstand. Like, they would come in and build this huge ass bandstand and have Zydeco bands and French music playing all day, you know. And I just love that, man. So like seeing my family do it, like it was just, that was the influence, you know. My dad played drums. I've got pictures of me sitting in bass drums at, you know, a year old. And my first Fraggle Rock drum set, if you guys are young enough or old enough to know what Fraggle Rock was. So that's really it. I mean, my family, you know, the Myers blood, that whole side of the family in Southwest Louisiana, it was all musicians. So that's really, that's it.
What all do you like? What all does Broken Side like? Are you guys going to be playing out anytime soon this coming year? Or?
Yeah, we're focusing on 2 things. We're focusing on. One is Johnny Crawford. It sucks when you have guys that are in construction in your band, you know, who make a living that way, because Johnny shot a freaking roofing nail through his finger, his index finger on his left hand, a couple weeks ago. So that's number 1. That's what we're trying to get Johnny healed so we can get those fingers moving. And then we're recording this EP, right? Hope to have the single We haven't put out the name for that just yet, but hope to have that single out in March, most likely. We're going to play a big show at the Concourse here in Knoxville. The Concourse just reopened in a different location. They're supposed to have the best sound in Knoxville, basically. Light show, sound. So Broken Side is going to open for a Tool tribute called 10,000 Days. We're going to do that. And then we're hoping to do a little mini tour, like in May, right, maybe springtime, late spring, early summer. Kind of get out close to you guys, maybe head out towards Nashville, down to Chattanooga or Atlanta. Just try to get out there, get our EP out.
If you guys are coming down here to Johnson City to play, I want to play with you.
And I'll be there
Let's
as the
do it.
groupie.
That sounds good. Yeah, man.
Hey,
We're looking.
You blew my mind a little bit, legitimately. Where's the Concourse at now?
Concourse is on Broadway. It's south of downtown. I guess about 10 miles.
Okay, because I that was when I was in high school. That was the spot, like the International and shit in Knoxville. Like that was saw and met so many bands who, out of fear of being beaten by our audience, I won't name here, but there was a lot of bands that
And
that I saw
music
there.
is music.
Whitechapel was one of them, so I can say Whitechapel on this channel. But we got to meet Phil Bozeman and shit for the first time at that building. So like that was kind of a sentimental place, and they shut it down. And so just them reopening is that was actually news to me. So that's really fucking cool. I'm actually legitimately excited about that. So yeah, cool.
It is exciting, man. I mean, just to play those big shows, and they're bringing. What's awesome is they've just hired a lady named Lizzie. I forgot, Lizzie Livingston, I think. So she's now their heavy metal or rock. You probably know Lizzie. She's an awesome photographer, but she's also their booking agent for metal. So she's created like a Facebook online Concourse Metal family, and she's their buying agent. So she's putting these big ass shows together with Quiescent Manus. They're going to play in January. There's some other bands coming. It's going to be freaking awesome. Like, I can't wait to see, what happens with this, because having a nice metal scene, with respectable, not a stupid metal scene, where people are coming in and just being disrespectful and pains in the ass, but a nice, respectable place to go and just hear some badass music. I mean, that's what we need, and that's what we're getting.
I really want to play with. I would love to play with Manus again, man. That was a good show. I had a great time.
It was great. They had played. I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan, like a diehard Iron Maiden fan, and I was coming back from like the outside patio, and they earned brownie points for me. I like their music. I'm not discrediting their music. They're great guys and great musicians. But I'm coming back through, and I had a beanie on similar to how I have now, and my brother was with me, and he was of course in the crowd and stuff, and started playing the Trooper, and they started off being like, "We have any classic metal?" And I was kind of perked up, like, "Yes, sir," and it was like. Maiden fans in the crowd. I was like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "This song's called The Trooper." So I go just like dead sprinting, like as far as like it's like my and my brother grabs my head to my beanie and just rips it off. That way it doesn't get lost in the pit. So Quiescent Manus is a great band, really fucking cool dudes. That's very cool.
Yeah, the stage energy those guys have is just awesome. For three guys, it's just badass. So.
No, for sure. And that's the thing about Brickyard too, is that you were there. Everything is so intimate and so compact that I'm standing side stage with him, and we're getting into it and shit, and we're as far as like here to like here with their drummer, and it's such a venue. It's very cool to be that close.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So big stages, moving from that to like a huge stage with, a well-built sound system and a light show, that's the goal. When you play a show, you're like, I want to get on that stage. I want to be sitting in front of, a 218 drum monitor, like I want to feel this shit in my guts, in my soul. So it's going to be awesome.
I'll have to definitely hit up with it, because I want to play up there now.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be the metal spot. Once they get these rolling, they'll probably do like once a month. metal shows, you know.
And I think we're gonna try to write one or two more songs, then we're gonna drop an album, a little EP, maybe 3 or 4 songs, and then we're just gonna throw everything that we have out. So,
Put
because
it all together.
we can't, like, we don't have any music for anybody to be like if I hit up Lizzie, what do you sound like? Well, I don't have any music to give.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's a recording from the Brickyard. You know?
Right.
So
That's true.
she's, just refer, you've got people here in Knoxville that can vouch for you guys. You know what I mean? It's, sometimes that's all you need, a good attitude and a couple of people on your side, and you get really far in this business.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, man. So what? Ask something.
I will ask something. So I do want to ask, so 2020 and 2021 have been such a roller coaster. I'm trying to think of something that doesn't have the word fuck in it. It's been a clusterfuck of what do you, I'm not going to say what's going to happen because we can't really predict that. What do you expect? What are your hopes for 2022 for Broken Side, for any, sound gigs, for any of that? What can we expect out of you for the next year?
I know. I think you're coming to do our wedding, right?
Oh, that's right. You never confirmed. So
hey, no,
we talked about that. Yeah, we'll probably figure that out. My kids.
Oh yeah.
So my kids help with the with that side of the sound business. So I mentioned it to them already, and they're like, we're getting paid to do this stuff. I was like, well, of course. So, yeah. But yeah, besides Bailey's wedding, doing this tour, we're really hoping that this music, once we drop this music, I think it's what every band thinks, dude, we drop this music, people are going to hear it and they're going to say, holy shit, we have to buy this, we have to see this, we have to do something to get close to it, of course, that's what we think, big aspirations, hoping that we put out this EP and it's more of a soulful feeling EP than our last one. It's got, the band's more of a band at this point. And, so we're hoping to take that and run with it, do some good things. Maybe we applied for that. I'm sure us and 1,000 other people have applied to play the Blue Ridge Rock Fest. But that'd be nice. I'm sure they're going to look at our page and be like, oh, you guys got 1,000 people, but we got guys that are applying that have 20,000 or 60,000 people following them. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. But then again, you never know. Maybe the right song gets into the right ear, and they're like, "We got to have these guys." That's really what we're hoping for, man.
That's kind of like the give and take of this whole fucking
yeah,
Spotify, YouTube shit. Like, in a way, I'm glad Dilation has no music out, because it's like people hit me up and they're like, "Man, how can I listen to you guys?" I'm like, "Well, you can come to a show, because we don't have music out." And sometimes that brings people out, sometimes it doesn't. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man, like YouTube has fucked everything over. If you want to watch a show, you can just go on YouTube. Live 2021, and you can watch the show, and it's like, well, that was cool. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
And it's like, in a way, I'm glad we don't have any music out, but at the same time, it would be nice to have just a little bit out. But
that's how people find you, It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like Spotify, I don't know how I feel about Spotify now. I've read a few different things, people complaining about how Spotify doesn't pay anybody, you get what, 0.0052 cents per listen,
From experience, it doesn't at all. Yeah.
And then, but if you balance that against a sale of a single record for a band, right? You get one sale for one person, right? So what does the band get off of one sale? Probably less than $1. If in the 90s, the band would get $1 from, if they've got 1 million records sold. How many times are you going to buy the record, right? One time. How many times are you going to listen to it on Spotify? I've got songs on Spotify that I've listened to, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of times, you know. So maybe it's all right. That's, you know, you're not getting the whole dollar the first time, but you've got a listening base that's going to continually, year by year, keep listening to those songs. You know what I mean? You're not just getting paid one time for it. So I don't know. I read something about that, and I thought I'd mention it, but I don't know. You know, hopefully thousands and thousands of plays, and we get Broken Side on the Blue Ridge Rock fucking stage and do some cool shit. Come out there and play in Johnson City and hang out with you guys. You know.
Yeah. Now that it's been said, you know, we got to make that happen. Let's get these guys on the fucking show. Let's make that happen. If you're watching this, go check out Broken Side's music. Go check them out. Give them a listen. Listen to them 1,000 times. That way they can get the fucking exposure they deserve. Hell yeah. That's the thing about Spotify, dude. It everything changes. You know, I don't remember because I wasn't born yet. But I remember seeing, you know, watching documentaries and shit about like the Napster situation. Like, it's crazy to see where we are now as far as that. I'm a huge Metallica fan, so say no more. But you know, seeing that kind of side of it with that, how that transitioned into what we eventually, you know, I remember being like, you know, middle school and shit, using like Apple Music and stuff, and going to where we have Spotify now. Yep. It's changing, ever evolving. And, you know, there's always going to be physical records. There's always going to be live shows. There's always going to be band merch to help keep these bands aloft. But, you know, streaming and listening to them, however your preferred method is definitely the way to go in some aspects, for sure. But, yeah, dude, I thank you for coming on the show. This was very spur of the moment and last moment. But, dude, you made it fucking work. Shit. We got to plan ahead, man. Do like a fucking hour, 2 hour long. We get cut off in an hour, so we'll have to do like a 2-parter or something sometime and talk about, you know, what Broken Side's doing maybe, you know, after the beginning of the new year, see what you're up to after the new year. And we'll make that happen, dude. Thank you for being on the show.
I hope to see
thanks,
you
guys.
In the next year. I hope to see you. If not, hopefully the wedding, but also I'd like to play with you in Broken Side, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, like I said, we're gonna, you know, when you're in a band like this, you gotta build connections in places, you know. Just knowing that you guys are out there and we're heading that way, it just makes everything work. So we'll bring some sound, we'll bring whatever we need, get some shows going, man. We'll get this tour started, do this little micro tour, mini tour, whatever it is, and you know, 3 states in 4 days, something like that, and come out there and make some music.
Kick ass, man. Well, if you're going to the wedding, I'll be there. If you're going to any shows that Iolation's at, I go to all their shows that I physically can. So I will see you there. We have to formally meet. But in the meantime, before we wrap up here, go ahead and plug your socials, plug all that good stuff.
Yeah. So brokensideband.com. You can get our EP. Download it. You can order it from us. Send us an email at info@brokenside.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Brokenside865. That's our Instagram. You can hit me up on Instagram, Justin.MyersDrums, anytime. Hit us up, you know. Check out the website's got all the links, www.brokensideband.com. Hit us up.
Justin, thank you for being with us, brother. We will have to do this. I look forward to formally meeting your ass at a show or a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Either. And I'll buy you a beer. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm good with that. Free beer is my favorite beer.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you.
Later, guys.
See you, man.